You are Black in the Green Room with me, your host, Keith Underwood. And this is your spot for real talk about entertainment with entertainers, creatives, and showbiz professionals. Today, we've got the radiant, fearless, and fabulously unbothered Nzinga Imani stepping into the green room. Actress, singer, model, and content creator, she is redefining what confidence looks like in real time. From scene stealing moments on screen to body positive domination online, Nzinga brings beauty and brains to every space she enters. Let's talk big energy, big dreams, and what it really means to glow up without falling down. Nzinga!
Yes. Hey, hey.
Hey.
That was an amazing intro. I'm just over here blushing. That's amazing.
You're very welcome. Absolutely. When you walk into a room and energy shifts, and you know that feeling when that energy
Mhm.
shifts. When did you
Absolutely.
first realize your presence was a whole event?
Oh, I don't know if there was a specific moment that comes to mind because as long as I've been alert and conscious, I feel like I've been the type of person who can come into a room and shift the energy, and pull people out of a stupor, have fun in any kind of way, create things together. I've just always kind of had that in me. And I feel like I've also cultivated that. I've definitely been intentional about making people feel good when I'm around. So, yeah, that goes back as far back as I could remember, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me an incident about when you were younger, when you first felt that energy.
Oh, in particular, I just remember in high school, a girl came up to me and was super apologetic because she had wronged me in some way, some like boyfriend or some issue like that. But she came up to me and apologized because she was just like, "You've made me feel." She was crying in the hallway one day, and I comforted her. And we didn't know each other; we'd never spoke to each other before or anything like that. And she came up to me and was just like apologetic about betraying me. Meanwhile, I was oblivious to the whole situation, but that didn't change the energy and what and how I saw her, because at the end of the day, I could see she was going through it. We were, you know,
Mm,
a little boyfriend at the time. Of course, it meant a lot more to me back then. But at the same time, it was like we're all just figuring it out, and
mm-hmm.
all of us are having a difficult time doing that. I'm not going to fault anyone for their mistakes along the way. We can still be friendly and nice to each other, because at the end of the day, we're not enemies. So
Right.
yeah, so even I mean that was in the earlier part of high school, but it's something that stuck out to me because even when you make people feel something, they don't always take the time to tell you, especially when
Mm-hmm.
it's as awkward as that situation was. But the fact that she felt convicted to tell me like that I made an impact on her really stuck with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, folks love to call you confident, but
Mhm.
what's the part of self-love that still takes daily work for you?
Oh, hmm. I mean, confidence is a part of the growth. I feel like no one feels like they're perfect. I definitely have things that I'm constantly working on, but you can love yourself during the journey, and to me that's what the confidence stems from. I'm actively working on myself in so many different ways, whether that's cleansing with juice cleanses or prioritizing dance classes to grow my social community and maintain physicality. Like there's so many little things. I make sure to do something artistic, whether that's a pottery class or a painting class, once a month. There's so many different ways to diversify, just I guess mental health as well as just improvement overall. And those are some of the ways that I do it.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
and where does that creative outlet, where does that inspiration come from?
Oh, I mean, I just feel like art in any capacity is so important for emotional health, but also it's a muscle. So you want to keep it active.
Mm.
And because I have so many different creative outlets and I'm always surprised by things that I can be good at if I try, you know? There's so many things that if we were exposed to earlier, you never know. Like I could be a rock star right now. You never really know until you try things. So wanting to try any creative avenue possible has always been a passion of mine. Although my mother was not super into us pursuing acting or modeling as a
Hmm.
career, she definitely felt it was important to put us in acting classes and dance classes and things like that,
Hmm.
because she felt like any well-rounded person, art is crucial in their development. And she was right. And I appreciate it, because even when I wasn't an actor, when I've had 100 other jobs, so often my training in theater, in music, in whatever the case may be, has helped me be a better employee, be a better boss, manager, whatever the title is. The skills that I learned when it comes to problem solving, when it, just being even creative in that way, those are skills that I learned through developing it in different creative ways. And I'm going to continue to develop it as much as I can.
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Outside of your creative outlets, what are some rituals or some mantras that you might have in order to keep yourself confident and lifted up?
Ooh. Rituals, I would say something to pump me up is I'll like turn up the radio as loud as possible and just scream Hamilton or Wicked songs. I love
Okay.
musical theater. And so if I need just like a pick me up or a release in any kind of way, I'm gonna do something like that. Another thing that I do is I pray in water. I try
Mm.
to take a trip somewhere with an ocean at least once a year. Luckily, it's been even more than that lately, but somewhere with water as far as that I can see, sitting in that stillness and that quietness with nobody else around, and really speaking to God, talking about the things that I want, the manifestation. I feel like it's so much more powerful in water. So that's one thing that I do whenever I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you mentioned loving musicals. You named
Yes.
Wicked and another one. So are there any aspirations for Broadway? And if so, what kind of role would you want to play?
Absolutely. 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 There is nothing I want more than to be in a Broadway show. Um, and I'm not picky. Like there's so many different parts that I love. I just did a performance, a live performance, and one of the songs that I performed was from Chicago, the Mama Morton song that many people know from Queen Latifah. When you're good to
Yes.
Mama. I love, love,
Yes.
love that. And so just exploring, just doing what I love in different facets. I just love it. Yeah, it's but
Hmm.
and musicals are, you can't go wrong with musicals. From Hamilton, I love a good rap musical. Some,
Yes.
to switch it up like
You
that, and
got some
then
you got some bars in Zinga.
I've got a little bars, but I never know where it's gonna lead me, and sometimes they're garbage. So I'll save myself the embarrassment, because I never know where the rhyme will go. But musicals, Wicked is definitely one of my favorites, but also Color Purple, Chicago.
Hmm.
There's just so many. I couldn't even choose. One of my favorite songs in my repertoire came from the, what is it called, Beauty and the Beast musical. So I've definitely diversified with what kind of musicals that I like, and I'm still growing and learning, and I haven't really found a musical yet that I didn't like.
Right, right, right. And I can see the appeal of it for you because it's about presence, stage presence. And then it's
Hmm.
also ties in your acting abilities. But then if you're doing a musical, also your singing abilities as well.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. And
And musicals are full circle, because then you're also doing costume, makeup. There's like so many elements, and you really work as a team every night. And even the audience is a part of that team. I love live performance.
mhm. Between modeling and singing and acting, which one do you bring the most drama with?
Bring the most, I would say, I mean, my favorite is musical theater, because it does allow me to kind of do everything. Um, I love being able to live off of my gift. And right now, I would have to say being a series regular on a television show is my number one. Absolutely thankful for that. So that's probably at the top right now. I
Right.
definitely have ebbs and flows in different times and seasons of my life. There was a time where modeling and influencership was paying all my bills, and I couldn't get a
Mm-hmm.
TV job for nothing in the world. So I'm really happy that the tables have shifted, and now I can pursue these other things seriously.
Yeah, yeah. How life changing. I mean, you were already successful
Mhm.
of doing so many things, and I don't even think people know half of the things that you do. But
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But how life changing has it been for you being on Tyler Perry's Zatima?
It has been incredible. It was really hard. For years, I was in the industry pursuing acting and pursuing film and television, but it took a really long time for me to get through that door. I was doing a lot of indie films, a lot of plays, a lot of musical theater, but to get on TV took
Mm-hmm.
forever. And a lot of the issue was, I would get pushed up to producers, I would get pushed all the way up, but then they're like, "Well, what has she done?" And it's like,
Mm.
well, you'll never know until somebody gives me a chance. So it was really rewarding that after 10 years of basically not being able to break through
Mm-hmm.
that barrier, for Tyler Perry to allow me to be in All the Queen's Men for one episode, and then audition for a series regular where now I'm in every episode of Zatima. And then I was written into his hit show Sisters, because Zatima is a spinoff of Sisters.
Right.
So to go from basically 0 to 60
Uh-huh.
within basically a couple years has been incredible and absolutely life changing. There's so much that I can do now. There's so much more creative freedom. There's so much more attention. We have some of the best fans in the world. So
Mm-hmm.
and they're nice. They love us and they get serious about us
Right,
and our
right, right.
characters. But at the end of the day, it's all love. So it has definitely been a shift. We all have to move differently now, just being recognized, but it's a positive shift for the most part, for sure.
Mm-hmm. You use the term creative freedom. What does that mean to you?
Oh, well, funding helps a lot when it comes to creative freedom.
Hmm. That part right there.
Yeah, so being able to not only to work on a show where you're getting paid adequately, but also we move very fast at TPS.
Hmm.
So we'll film our season in those few weeks, and then we have the rest of the year to pursue the things that we want, create the things that we want. I know Brian Jordan from Sisters just released his visual album. People are creating their own streams of revenue, but also creative outlets. Crystal has her podcast, Keep It Positive,
Hmm.
Sweetie, that travels all around the world and things like that. So there's so many different ways that our cast has been able to explore and grow in their own rights because of that freedom that we have now.
Hmm. And how important is it to you, like to have, well, to any artist to diversify their platform into these other streams of revenue?
It's so important. And honestly, not even just in the creative space, but in every space.
Hmm.
You never know what tomorrow holds. We've all experienced, even within the last 5 years, things that make you wonder, how safe is your job? How safe is your home? How safe is any of that? So being able to be in a place where you have some say, some control in what you pour into and what you grow is incredible. And I do not take it lightly, because I know a lot of people would be really honored to be in that position. And not only that, but we get to also pour into other people. I feel like bringing people in on your team, growing that way. There's so many different lives and communities and households, families that you impact by just
Hmm.
walking in your light and doing the creative, whatever it is that comes to your mind, but pursuing it fully allows for so many other people to be able to do the same thing. So I'm honored.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Social media, it can be a crazy, crazy circus. Where do
Mhm.
you go to find your peace of mind away from the circus?
Oh, I was about to say offline. Offline. You mean where do I go on social media, or when I'm off of social
Yeah,
media?
in your headspace, yes.
Ah, ooh. There's so many different things that I do to try to get off of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And like I mentioned earlier, those social dance classes and things like that are a big
Mm.
part of that because we get so reliant on communicating with other people via a screen that you don't realize how much is missing when you're encountering people and seeing them at least once a week. And it makes relationships and connections so much stronger when you do things like that. So I would say probably dance classes my number one go to get away, step away, and just kind of lock in and have fun with other people.
Yeah. What type of dancing we're doing in Nzinga? What style?
Woo! The one I go to the most is the line dance class, Line Dance with Jazz. She um she hosts like three different dance classes a week, and it's always packed to capacity. We have the best time. Nobody realizes this, but there's like thousands of line dances. She's teaching a new one every week. I've been going since last December, and there's always something new to test you and just to get your mind open different pathways. Because when you're creative in
Mm-hmm.
that way too, where you're learning new steps and new combinations every week, you're training your mind for so many different things, even outside of dance. So I really enjoy that. And then I also go to a soca class at Dance
Nice.
101. Chantal Maurice, who is also an actor, teaches it. And she is so much fun, high impact, high energy. And I'm Guyanese from
Mm.
South America. So being able to also like get in touch with my Caribbean side and hear the new songs that are coming out, do the dance moves that I had forgotten from long ago and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have the best time at Soca. I only really get to do that on Sundays, and a lot of times my Sundays are hectic. So I really appreciate the days that I get to go to that Soca class because it really just hypes me up for the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With your social media, do you ever feel the pressure to share more than what you're willing to share?
Yes. Yes. uh, I think that probably happens the most if I go live. Otherwise,
Mm,
I'm aware, I'm editing the content, I know where to cut and
right.
things like that. But when I go live, I lose track of the fact that I'm on live and a lot of our my main followers are super interactive and they've been following for so long and know so much about like my career and things like that that we're just talking, just having a good old time, and you don't realize like how many people have possible access to the conversation. So you do have to be careful. But I think I do a pretty good job with that most of the time. Sometimes I'll get a little too comfortable, then I'll be like, wait, never mind. I like my job. I'm gonna keep it, So I'm working on it. But we have fun, and I do appreciate being able to be transparent with my fans and followers too.
Hmm.
So it's a line that I balance. Plus, I love to troll them too. Like I'm definitely the person who's gonna instigate arguments on Twitter, but only about the show, not about life or anything like that. But definitely about
Right.
the show. I love to instigate with the fans because they come up with the most outlandish stories, and I'm like, I can top that.
Right, right,
So we
right.
have a good time.
So you've made curvy and confident look effortless. What's a misconception about body positive women that grinds your gears, that just gets on your nerves?
Ooh, there's so many. Oh, there's so many. That they can be pick me's, that they
Mm,
are like desperate. What are some other misconceptions? There's so many. I mean, and I just know so many women who are the exact opposite of that, who are
hmm.
fierce, who are loved and admired, who, take up space in such beautiful ways. And just like any other group, there's a variety of, there's so much within our group. And I just wish people would stop lumping everybody into a monolith. We all have something different to
Mm,
give, and you have to really experience and open yourself up to the possibilities without just judging someone off of sight in the moment you see them. You never know what kind of person you're ignoring or pushing aside when you are being so
mm.
shallow, really.
Hmm. Have you ever been out or maybe in a situation where you saw somebody mistreating someone under those circumstances?
Absolutely. I have
What?
been the receiver of those situations numerous times.
Mm,
I was at a I was at an award show,
Mm.
and I was there as a guest, and my sister, who looks just like me except the skinny version, was with me. And the security guard stopped me from going to my seat. Just didn't believe that I should be seated where I'm supposed to be seated. Physically pushed me back. Mind you, I'm walking with someone who you didn't touch, didn't move, didn't stop,
Mm-hmm.
and then proceeded to let other people walk past too. And it was like, well, why can they go? And it's like, oh, like, I'm not going to explain myself to you. You go there or you'll be escorted out. I had to have another cast member come and kind of, he didn't even really diffuse the situation. He just kind of pulled me through. He was a big old strong man. So
Right,
nobody
right.
stopped him. But the security guard was just like, oh, I'll show you. Basically, like he was going to get me kicked out. Of course, once the people in charge, whoever he was going to try to talk to, realized who he was talking about, they were like, why were you trying to stop her? Like
Right.
her ticket says that row. So I've experienced that, and no one can tell me that that wasn't because of my size, because I literally had the twin version of me, but skinny with me. So
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. And having that dynamic my whole life where I do have like a small version of me that I'm around,
Mm-hmm.
and I see the differences in how people treat us, whether it's something simple like a guy holding a door open or whatever the case may be. Sometimes they're really small things, but a lot of times these things compound into opportunities and so many other things that are huge impacts. So it's hurtful to know that we haven't made much progress in that area
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Yes. Yeah, when we
Yeah.
first opened, you mentioned being Guyanese.
Hmm.
What is that? And you sounded so proud when you said it, as you should be. What
Thank
does it
you.
mean to you to be Guyanese?
I love just having a heritage and a culture that I can refer back to, that I wish that I knew more. I wish that I got to go there more and things like
Mm,
that, but still just having that, the parents from other places who can teach you traditions and things like that. It's amazing. Having family that's all across the world and spread out all over all these different countries, and getting in touch with my Caribbean roots, whether that's going back to visit or just going to an event in the city where
hmm
everybody is enjoying different Caribbean foods or dancing and anything like that. It's amazing to have that kind of connection even outside of the country that it stemmed from.
hmm Yeah,
Yeah.
outside of just acting, give me the real tea. What's the boldest move that you've made in your career?
Hmm. The boldest move?
Yeah, that you just when you really just stepped out there and was just like, you know what, I am doing this.
It would probably have to be the boutique, Shop Namani. I have been an influencer in the plus size industry for many, many years, and I even did a few designs with other brands that sold out and did really well. So to take a step into that lane was, for one, scary because brands start to see you as competition, and then you stop getting as much opportunity, which I think a lot of people don't really consider when it comes to starting something like that. But also, it's a whole new world. It's a whole
Hmm
business. You've got inventory, you got employees, you got whatever the case may be that makes, it's like, oh, I'm a grown up. Okay, that happens somewhere along the way. And as a mainly creative, who my most of the things that I do aren't so technical. I don't have to
hmm
keep records and things like that. It's a big shift. So it was definitely probably the biggest challenge, because it wasn't something that came as natural to me as the other parts of my career. And I mean,
hmm
I went to school and studied and did all the things for that, but it's just it's a different part of your brain that
hmm
comes into play when you're building a store, marketing, paying bills, all that stuff. kind of So definitely figuring that out has been a challenge.
Yeah, how do you juggle it all? I mean, I have a good question for you.
Mhm.
Do you stay up at night? How many hours of sleep do you get?
That is a complicated question because it changes consistently.
Hmm
Sometimes I do really good. I always say my bedtime is 10:30, but that just
hmm
means I don't want to be outside past 10:30.
Right,
I don't
right,
want to
right.
be at your club, your lounge, and no, get me
All
home.
of that part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when I'm home, yeah, there's definitely I'm better about going to sleep early, but then I'll wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, and now I'm up and I'm
Right.
changing my whole closet around or doing something else, trying to be productive really before the rest of the world wakes up, because that is the best time for me. Because once my phone gets blinging and things like that,
Hmm.
and the world wakes up, I'm just consistently distracted by all the different things. So I do like to wake up super early, just to get a roll on the day, a head start.
Yeah, and then once you get that role in a day, how do you keep up with it? How do you stay organized with everything that you do?
I'm still figuring it out. In all honesty, it's a constant struggle. I don't know if there's a particular way that I can say like, oh, I've got this figured out. I'm
Hmm.
figuring it out. I definitely have an order of how I do certain things and checklists and things like that. But once again, those things change because priorities change throughout the day, and sometimes there will be an audition that needs to be done, and then I have to prioritize that over maybe packing orders or whatever the case is. But it's constantly evolving and changing, and I'm just trying to be good at adapting and very
Hmm.
good at the pivot.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned that part about, packing orders. A lot
Hmm.
of people don't understand when they see people on TV or hosting a show or whatever it is, and then whatever other brands that they have, they
Hmm.
just assume that the money is just swimming and coming in. But a lot of this stuff we still have to do
Hmm.
ourselves. Speak on that a little bit.
Absolutely. I run the business from head to toe, when it comes to building the website to packing orders. My sister's the co-owner and she does a lot of it with me, but when it comes to the day-to-day operation of the business, it's mainly me. And that's intense. There was definitely intentions on scaling and hiring more people to work, and there have been times where we do like the influx of a holiday season or something like
Mm,
that. But for the most part of the year, it's a much more small scale, family owned business, and there's pros and cons to that. It's always
hmm.
a pro to be able to kind of keep the money in the network.
Right, right, right. That
But it
part.
is it's a strain, and it can be time consuming, and it can pull you every which way. So I know whenever I know I'm going to be out of town for 2 weeks or something like that, I panic a little bit because I know that it'll take a lot more for somebody to come and pack the order because I hold the inventory and things like that. So figuring out the logistics and things like that can be difficult, but at the end of the day, life is a challenge, and I'm up for the
Hmm.
challenge, and I'm ready.
All
I'll figure
right,
it
all
out.
right. So, it's family. You said you're running a family business in the last
Mhm.
segment. What's it like working with family?
It I wouldn't
Oh,
want to do it any other way. Let me start there.
let's start there. Yes.
I wouldn't want to do it any other way, but it can be challenging because we all have different family dynamics. We all have different
Hmm.
things that we expect, and it's a lot harder to demand things from people who are too familiar.
Right, 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 right.
So
It can
that's
go to a
probably
whole nother level real fast.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's probably the only difficult part, is that sometimes things might take a little longer. You might not get the same tenacity that you might get
Hmm.
out of someone who doesn't know you and is maybe trying to impress you. Nobody in my family is trying. They're just like, what I gotta do? Okay. And but at the same time, it's like I don't think I would have been able to start the business without my sister. You know what I mean? She's
Hmm.
the person who pushed me into trusting myself and help in a lot of different ways. So I appreciate her. And sometimes the ways that we need people are different than what their position may
Hmm.
be on paper.
Hmm.
But would I get it done without her? I don't know if it would have happened in the time frame that it did without her.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Um, I mean, talking to you now and even seeing your presence on the show, you seem to be very, very grounded, very down to earth. How do you balance that with all of the glam of Hollywood?
Ah. Huh. I mean, I don't know. I feel like glam is just like a part of life. I don't
Hmm.
I don't see it too big or grandiose. I see it as like a fun way to show personality. And that's just one facet of my personality. I'm also a nerd. I'm also, I'm also a diva. Like I will also turn into Beyonce in a second. They're all within me. So when it comes to like the glamorousness of Hollywood, I don't really see it that way yet. I do enjoy getting glam and doing all the things, but it doesn't really change who I am, and that's why I'm always paying attention to how people treat you in different spaces and different places, because it's like I'm the same person I was on that red carpet that I was when I saw you at Publix, and you didn't know who I was and were looking at me crazy. So I don't take any of it too seriously. We have a good time, and look, you doing it.
That's
That's what
right.
I do.
Absolutely. Well, come on now, being cute while doing it. But and
Yeah.
yes, and Zinga, for you, what are some of the biggest challenges about keeping a hectic schedule on set? Because I already know about the Tyler Perry schedule, like you
Mhm.
said, but how does it work for you?
After four seasons as a team, a few seasons of Sisters, and my experience on All the Queen's Men, I feel like I understand the world now, and I have my tricks and tips. So
Hmm.
one of my best tricks, and I highly suggest this to any actor who has to learn lines especially fast, or any audition that has I mean, not audition, any actor that has auditions, because a lot of times we'll get a side and then they want that audition back the next day. It's like, I don't have time to learn these lines. Line Learner app. It's a way to record your lines, record their lines, and you can play it back where they're saying your lines to you and their lines, or
Hmm.
just saying their lines so you can fill in the blank. That has changed the way that I'm able to memorize and learn, and really commit to memory my lines. I guess I'm an audible learner, and seeing it and reading it, I could read it 100 times and it won't necessarily click the same way it will me hearing it twice. So that has been my favorite trick of all.
All right. Yes. What's one moment in your career when you said, "Okay, this is not what I prayed for"?
You try to take me to Shadyville.
Come on. We could be a little shady, just a little.
There's definitely been some work that once I see it go live, I'm just like, how do I get this removed? Um, yeah, that's happened a few times, and even quite recently, but that's a part of living and growing, so, and I believe I started in the parody world, so hopefully anyone who sees anything that is not the most flattering of my artistry, they take it to be the joke. They take it to be a joke, or I don't know, but I'm always surprised, because sometimes you're doing something and what it was in your head doesn't turn out to be what it becomes once other people
Hmm.
get their hands on it and things like that. And there's only so much you can do as an actor, and you have to
Hmm.
play your position, and then you also have to release some of it, especially if you agree to do a project and someone else's hands are in it after, hands are on it after. You have to kind of just release it, not overthink, not get in your head about it, because that will stop you from being creative and trying and experimenting in other ways. So I look at it as a lesson learned when I stumble upon those situations, and then I just pray no one finds it.
Yes, absolutely. Y'all don't be out there trying to find Nzinga Imani doing some madness now.
No, no. I feel like if anything, you'll know within like the first few minutes based on editing. You'll be like, okay, I see what she was saying. But it's okay.
But it's
It's
okay.
okay.
It's all
Yeah. I
right.
still did my job, and I feel like I represented me well, and that's all I can hope for.
All right, I love that. So, and Zinga, what's going to be happening on Zatima? Give me some tea.
Ooh, well, the first 10 episodes are out now on BT Plus, and they are intense. A lot happened this season. We got stalkers, we got people getting shot at, we got people using all types of injectables and things like that. I don't know what we can say on live, so I want to just be clear. But there is a lot of intense drama. There's also a lot of lightheartedness. That's one thing I love about our
Mm-hmm.
show. We do a good balance of really deep, serious drama and
Mm-hmm.
comedy.
Mm-hmm.
We have fun. That's one of the things I love about my character is that she oftentimes gets to be the levity in these
Mm-hmm.
very serious situations. So there's gonna definitely be more of that. But Courtney Glade, who is the writer of this season, really
Mm-hmm.
took it in a different direction. He is known for his thrillers, his suspense. So to see him bring that to our show that doesn't really live in that world, but you definitely see how
Mm-hmm.
he blends it in, especially this season, has been really interesting. And he took the time to develop all the stories of all the other characters. A lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
the show, because it is about Zach and Fatima, that's how we get Zatima.
Right.
Um, we focus very much on them, and this season you get to see a little bit more of the stories of the characters that surround them. Their supporting cast, which includes Angela, my character. So it's been really
Yes.
fun to dive into her vulnerabilities, to wonder about who she'll choose in a romantic way, to figure out how she'll solve problems that has to do
Mm-hmm.
with herself, her career, her body image, or even what has to do with Zach and Fatima. She's figuring her life out more this season, and it's going to be a lot of cliffhangers, a lot of side eyes, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of questionable things that I think viewers are going to not fully be on board with, but just give us some time. We got
Okay. All right. All
you.
right. It seems like Angela's character might be getting ready to take a little shift. You don't have to give me a lot of details, but
Mhm.
can you give me a little something?
Well, she's figuring out romantically what she wants more. And there's a lot of confusion that comes with that because she is actively figuring it out. I'm trying to say what and figure out what to say without getting fired. Like I said before, I don't know what I can say. In these first 10 episodes, you see, ooh,
No,
this,
I want you to keep your job. So,
yeah, okay. I support that. Yes, I
yes,
support that. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. So, and Zinga Imani, for those things that you can talk about and share, where can everybody find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me on all things Nzinga Imani. That's Nzinga Imani.
All
Yep.
right. Well, Nzinga Imani, thank you so much for joining me on Black in the Green Room. I have had a good time just chopping it up with you and
Same
great
here.
conversation. Be sure to follow me, Keith Underwood, at Mr. Keith L. Underwood on IG. You can also follow me on FB at Keith L. Underwood. And you know you got to follow Black in the Green Room at Black in the Green Room across all platforms. Until next time, this has been Black in the Green Room.